Hey guys, welcome back. In today's lab, we will be using authentication using the SSH keys on the Linux virtual machine in Microsoft Azure Cloud. So let's get started. Okay, first thing what we do, we create a resource. We click on the icon here. Then we select the virtual machine. We can click create. We'll follow the same step as lab 1 in the previous video. The only difference is going to be the authentication type when we get there. The resource group, if we don't have one, we can create one. So I will create a new one for this, Lab02. Click OK, and then I can give a name to my virtual machine, Lab02 Linux VM. And after that, I will keep all the settings as default. Like a region, I'm going to keep East US. Availability zone, I will just say no infrastructure redundancy required at this point. For the image, I will keep the Ubuntu 20.04. And I will keep the same for the size. This is where we need to look into the authentication type, and we'll select the SSH public key. We need to create a user, which is the username. That's a default, so I will just keep it for now. Or you know what, I can check it, Lab02 user. So now when it comes to the SSH public key, you got a few options here. The one is you can generate new key pair in Azure portal when you're creating this virtual machine. The other option is you can use if you already have key in your key vault or stored in Azure cloud. You can use that too. And the other one is you can use existing public key. So I will use the existing public key. I'm going to generate my own public key. I have a tool here is a PuTTY. Which we will be using to connect back to the machine by using SSH. This PuTTY tool also comes with the PuTTY key generator, which lets you create your own public key. So I'm going to create my own public key. So as you can see, you can use this tool. You click generate, and you just move your mouse on the screen to create some randomness into the key, and you will get the key as you can see on the screen. So you can save public key. So I can save here. And I will give this a name, Lab2 public key. I will save it, and I can also save my private key because I need it when I need to connect back to the machine via the SSH. But before you do that, you need to put a passphrase for you to make your key secure. So I'm just going to put some password here. Okay, once you do that, you click save private key. So I say Lab02 private key. So I will save it. So now I do have my private key with me and the public key, so I can close it now. So what I need here, I need to copy paste my RSA public key here. So let's do that now. Okay, so here's my public key. So I'll just copy, and I'm going to paste it over here. And after this, I will keep all the rest of the variables as all default. I'm not going to change anything. I want to make sure I have inbound port open for SSH. All looks good. I go to next. I'm going to keep the default settings for the disk. I'm going to keep the default settings for the network, default settings for the management, and I'm going to keep it advanced also same. And then just click on review and create. And once everything is validated, once I get the notification, as you can see, I got the validation pass. So I can click create now. It will take maybe a few minutes for Azure to spin my virtual machine. Okay, as you can see, I got a notification, deployment succeeded. So I can go to resource. As you can see, I have my virtual machine, which is resource group in Lab02. It's running. It's in East US. That's the virtual subnet. The VNet has been assigned, and as you can see, I have a public IP address. I can copy it. Now I can go back to my PuTTY. I can put the IP address here. In addition to log into machine, I also need to select and load my private key, because that's going to be used for the authentication. You can go to SSH, and you can go to the browse, and then you can click on the private key, which I have here. So I got the login screen. Now I can put my username, which I have selected when I was creating my virtual machine. So I can click Lab02 user, and then I can provide the passphrase for my private key. And once I provide that information, as you can see, I log into the machine. So I can present working directory. So I am in the Lab02 user directory. I can go one directory back. Let's go to home and see the files in the Linux machine. So that's, you can see, that's the way you log into the machine. Instead of username and password, you use the SSH public key, which is more secure than just a regular username and password. Okay, so it was a quick demonstration of using your SSH keys to log into the Linux virtual machine on Microsoft Azure Cloud. I hope you liked the video, and we'll keep coming back to the next video in the Lab 3. We'll do some more fun stuff. Thank you.